Okay, we have one last team before lunchtime, and I'm not going to say best for last, but it's a University of Florida team. Go Gators. So Luis Gonzalez today, he's going to be presenting on material recycling in Central Havana. And his faculty advisors, Dr. Sophie and industry mentor Eric Bolnes, have provided a lot of support to Luis, and we'll let him get started. After this presentation, we're going to take a 1-hour break and go out for lunch. There's going to be lunch downstairs, and then we're going to resume the presentations of the awards at 1 o'clock. So, Luis?
Thank you. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Luis Gonzalez. I'm working in my Bachelor in Civil Engineering at the University of Florida. Today, I'm here presenting my ideas about the material recycling facility in Havana, Cuba. I wanted to show you a few pictures so you can have a better idea of what is the problem and where are we going with this project. These are common pictures of Havana, not only of Havana, of every place in the country right now. Every corner is full of trash because there is like a huge problem with solid waste management. As you can see, there is a mix of trash over there. There are two most important types of trash in the pictures. One of them is related to household, like plastic, paper, and glass, and the other one is coming from the demolition, collapse, and construction of new buildings or even houses that are small repairs. What is the problem? Both of them are mixed, both of them are on the streets, and it's really, really difficult, almost impossible, to collect like that, like a mix, and then to process it. There is no way to process that mix. So we are going to attack the problem, we are going to provide a solution and a few ideas on how to make the problem or how to solve the problem. Okay. As a Cuban, I know that this is a huge problem, but I wanted to make sure that I was on the right track. Because of that, I did a poll with the help of my friend, my colleagues. I did a poll with the help of many, many people. I got about 507 answers. I asked my fellow Cuban, how bad do you consider is the situation with solid waste management in Cuba as right now? Almost all of them consider that there is a significant or critical problem with solid waste management in Cuba. The results are there, as you can see: Havana, Villa Clara, Camagüey, Las Tunas, Holguín, Santiago de Cuba. Some are the worst places in Cuba right now. There is a common denominator: population. Those places are like the most populated cities in Cuba. Because of that, it was easy for me to understand, okay, this is a common denominator. I want to point out that one of the causes or why this is happening is because of the lack of recycling facilities and the improper disposal system. As I was saying, it's impossible to remove or to separate that mix that is on every corner of the country. I wanted to tell you about this, keep that in mind. Right now, this is the only data that I was able to get from a confiable or from like a really good source. About 1,000 cubic meters of construction and demolition materials are being produced in Havana, mainly from the construction of new hotels and also for the collapse of all structures. Where I'm going? Okay, I want to provide with a few ideas about the design of a full system. I don't want you to focus only on engineering idea. I want you to see this project as a factor of change for society. I'm focusing on the three most important aspects, in my opinion: the environmental, the economic, and the social aspects of the project. This is so you can have a better idea of the main points. What are the points that I'm attacking today? I want to explain you what is a material recycling facility, because the naming is kind of what is. I want you to talk about the economic analysis, the location, how it's going to be the location. I want to cover like all the details next to the construction of a material recycling facility and the functioning of the facility. Okay, what is a material recycling facility? Is kind of simple. It's a place where materials are separated, are processed, and then stored for future use. The most important goals: maximize the quality and the quantity of the recycles, because at the end, we're going to be reusing all the materials getting out of the facility. Okay, before the presentation, I made a decision. I wanted to explain, like in deep, the technical process, or I wanted to attack the problem in general. And I decided that I want to explain the technical process, but I want to provide a full idea of how to solve the problem. Because of that, I'm going kind of not very deep on the technical process, but I want you to have an idea of how it's going to be inside and how it's going to be the process. As you can see right there, the step number 1 is going to be the collection process. The collection for me is super important because we have a great idea, but if we don't pick up the trash from the streets, there is no way that we're going to solve the problem. The collection is super important. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the collection. Then, with trucks, we're going to deliver the materials to the place, to material recycling facility. We're going to put the materials on the tipping floor. And then with the loader, front loader, we're going to take the materials and put it inside a shredder. We're going to get, after that, we're going to have the system like here, and then here under the system, we are going to have a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt is kind of the most important I think the conveyor belt is like the soul of this system, because the conveyor belt is going to transport all the materials along all the way in the facility. We're going to have a conveyor belt, all the materials are going to be there, and then the conveyor belt this is the conveyor belt, it's coming this way, and here we're going to have a rotatory magnetic separation system. It's going to pick up all the ferrous materials in that mix. So it's going to pick the material, it's going to be rotatory, and it's going to reach this point, and here it's going to drop them in a different conveyor line that is like an auxiliary parallel to the main line. In that way, we don't have ferrous material for the next level. So the conveyor belt continues movement, and then we have a suction separation system. It's the same, main conveyor belt, non-ferrous materials there. The suction system is going to take light materials, plastic bags, paper, styrofoam, coming from construction mainly, remember? It's going to take them, it's going to move them, and it's going to drop them in a different system. Another conveyor lane, smaller, and that system is going to have an optic sorter. Optic sorter is a system used in material recycling facilities here in every part of the world, not for construction, but for common plastic and paper. It's super precise. It's going to take only the paper. It's going to take the paper away for further processing. Then we continue with the main line. Right now, we don't have ferrous materials. We don't have paper or lightweights. We continue, and we are going to do the wood separation. The wood separation is kind of simple, but I like it. We continue on the line, and suddenly we have an angle going down. This angle is going to be an area full of water, and then all the materials are coming down, and because of the buoyancy forces, the wood particles are coming up to the surface. We're going to be able to remove the wood, and then it's going to go up again. The conveyor lane is going to continue with the rest of the materials. At that point, we don't have ferrous, we don't have small particles, and we don't have wood. What we have, non-ferrous materials at that point, copper, aluminum, and also a mix of rock and concrete. Manual sorter is almost the final step. There, someone is going to picking up small pieces of aluminum, copper, and finally we are going to get the rock and concrete mix to use based on what on the needs at that point. Okay, I wanted to mention about collection, because I think collection is too important. The equipment, we need the right equipment, many trucks. I try to explain that in my paper. The manpower is also important. People need to have preparation, be aware of the importance of the work that they are doing, and social programs. I don't know how much importance has social program. For me, has all the importance that we can have a great idea, but if people doesn't cooperate or doesn't help or doesn't get in the project, we are doing nothing. Social programs, there is this theory, I like it. Someone told me about it, and I think it's very appropriate to this situation. When you see a broken window, or a few broken windows, you are most you get excited, or you are most prompt, or you can get a baseball ball and break another window, and that is going to be fine because the environment is like that. There are too many problems, another one is not going to make a huge difference. But if you see a place clean and perfectly organized, probably you're going to behave and you are going to try to keep that place like that. So I have in mind many ideas to get those social programs work. I don't want to go too strict with fines and all of that, but I think could be also usable. But that's what I'm thinking right now. Dumpster online reservation, a few ideas to pick up the trash from the street, and the delivery. The delivery is going to be mainly on trucks, so you can have an idea. That is going to be the delivery. Trucks are coming, leaving the mix. That is going to be the mix, mostly wood, concrete, small particles of aluminum, styrofoam. So these are a few pictures so you can have visualized what I was saying, because it's kind of difficult to understand the conveyor belt going all the way. That is a similar industrial cheddar. You can see it's coming like this. Then you have a conveyor belt that's all the way around the system, and that one over there is kind of a similar system that the one that I have in mind. Is rotating. Conveyor belt is moving up like this, straight line, and that one is moving like this when getting the ferrous materials and moving to a different lane. That's my idea. Okay, the facility design. I want to have a facility ready to increase capacity at any point, because I'm pretty sure capacity is going to increase and demand of this service is going to be high. I want to use the least number of columns inside. I want a system like clear and open so there are no accidents. People can move freely with the trucks, with the loader. Employees, I want to have like areas for employees. The internal design, I want the internal design to be enough to accumulate materials for 7 continuous days. For example, if we have a problem with the metal system, I don't want the clients to have, I don't want to stop accepting material to the facility because of a problem that we have. If we have capacity to accept material for 7 continuous days, we are not affecting the production or we are not affecting our clients. And I'm pretty sure 7 days is enough time to fix any problem inside the facility. Storage. I put great importance in storage because we are doing a business at the recycling facility, and to make the economic analysis successful, we need like a great system, a perfect system. I want to have a huge storage because materials, the market is kind of changing, and every day you can see a different price for a material. Not drastically different, but you can see a different price. I want to sell materials not before or after, but they want to sell them at the perfect time, at the perfect point to make the most profit and make the facility like successful. Capacity. Capacity is about 7 times the actual capacity of the actual production. Why is too big? Okay, I think that the economy and infrastructure in Cuba right now is in coma. And I'm pretty sure that when we start building, when we start rebuilding the country, it's going to be huge. It's going to be a different, like a strong difference. I'm super confident about that. And that is the maximum production. I'm not saying that from one day to the other it's going to be an increase of 7 times what is going on right now. The location, the potential location for this idea is near the University Jose Antonio Echeverria, the CUBA. That area, there are a few landfills in that area, and I think it's like an industrial area. There are not many neighborhoods around. There are, but there was a central in the area, and I think it's a good potential location. My idea is, I decided to go with this location because there are not information about how much construction waste is being produced in Santiago de Cuba or in Ciego de Ávila. So I decided to go with this one, that Havana is the only place with real numbers. The economic analysis. Okay, to do the economic analysis, it was for me like super difficult because all the details that you might have an idea or the economy of Cuba. So based on my experience, the experience of different Cuban engineers and the experience of American engineers, I decided to do like a factor. I decided to talk to them, okay, how much would be this design facility here in the United States? How much would be that in Panama or in Dominican Republic? I used those 3 places of comparison. And then based on the expected median salary, I did a design factor to accomplish for that, to make that difference. And I think maybe it's not perfect, but I mean, there is no way to make exact, no one, even a great economist could do like a precise assumption. I think the total cost for the facility, including engineering, design, equipment, capital costs, are going to be about 20 million. That includes everything, trainings, everything that we need for the facility, permits, design, the annual payments. The annual payments, about a period of 18 years at the 12% compound interest rate are going to be about 2.7 million per year. And the operation and maintenance costs, about 1 million, including salaries, including double salary in December for the employees, including all the expenses that we may have. Based on that, I'm thinking that the expected annual revenue is going to be 5.3 million. We are saying that we are going to have a profit of 1.6, about 1.6. Based on the future, we need to make a decision if the facility is going to be public or private. I'm open and able to collaborate with the actual government to provide my ideas to implement this facility. I don't think they are going to accept it, but I'm able to do it. I know that I'm over the time, but I want you to know about this because this is the slide that I like the most. The social benefits of the project. Okay, I'm proposing with this project to open 28 working positions, including labor, including truck drivers, manager, everyone that is going to be involved. 8 hours working shift, Monday to Friday. I don't want to do it on weekends. It could be necessary, maybe. The average salary that I include in my economic analysis is $500 per month to the workers. Is highest than the average salary on Latin America right now, and is about 30 times the average salary that workers are receiving in Cuba. Accounting for that, the economic analysis is still perfect, clear light. So I think that it could be even higher than that. Another benefit that I want to include, to make the community get involved with the project, I want to do tours for a student and visitor. Safety, glasses, everything. But I think that the social benefits of the project are going to be amazing. We are not only impacting 28 working positions, we are impacting about 100, maybe 200 people, including the family of the workers. Okay, I'm a little bit over time. I have other few details, but I want to stop. Okay, these are, a few environmental benefits of the project. I have a lot to say for this, so I don't want to take more time. And these are my final ideas. My final ideas. Okay, Cuba's future is uncertain, that the necessity of a system for the people is a fact. And another idea that I want to say that, which is going to be the scope of my next project next year, is that there is no way that we can do any project, mine or any of the project here, because we need to rebuild the highways and the streets of the country. So that is going to be the scope of my next project. And this, for me, I'm very passionate about this. This, for me, are more than an idea. This, for me, is going to be a reality. I'm confident, sure, that I'm going to make it happen.
There you go.
Right. Thank you.